coffee. It's kind of like the original Batman, sort of ish. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Todd for Sunday, the 16th of May. Hey, there we are. Morning, Mark Sikolis. He's up and at 'em this morning, just like we are. Hey, we've got a good show for you today. On the show today, Tim Brick is going to be joining us. Tim Brick, a country singer-songwriter from the Barrie, Vermont area. If he looks familiar, and you're from the Northeast Kingdom here in Vermont, he's played Friday Night Live a bunch of times. He's done a bunch of other shows around here as well. So it's going to be super cool to get Tim on. He's working on a new album, and we're going to learn more about that. And he's raising money for it to produce it. So we're going to have a discussion. Good morning, John. John is watching from over in England. So it's not morning coffee for him. It's afternoon coffee. But coffee is good no matter where and when it is. Even if it spills and dribbles all over you. I think we did all right. I've been waiting for that. It's my favorite time of the day. It's coffee time. Well, hey, let's get the show going, shall we? Grab yourself a cup of coffee. I will be your Todd. Coffee with Todd starts right now. All right, here we are, Coffee with Todd, and I just need to do a little bit of quick housekeeping because this shouldn't take too long. We're not broadcasting live to the to my main channel. What's up with that? All right, so we're gonna go in here. We're gonna add this. What a great start. Bear with me, folks. Let's see if I remember all my passwords. Did you have a good week? Are we logging in? What's happening here? There we go. All right. Let's add this puppy. Sorry about this. You know, I checked everything last night. And, what, did it just kick everybody off? What's going on now? Oh, you Lord. All right, let's see are we still broadcasting live? What's going on here? I don't know what's happening. Of course, you know, this could be faster. How do I just see my profile? Yeah, I'm still live. Okay.
You're okay. I see it too.
All right. Well, let's do this. Share.
Share yours.
Yeah. See, it's not going to let me. Oh, this is great. So we're not broadcasting live on the page that 90% of people watch on. So that's awesome. Thanks, Restream. Can't wait to send you $50 again this month. Or maybe I have to do this. There. Send. Are we going to do this? Sending data. Sending data. Sending data. Well, we can't mess around with this all day. I got to get the show started at some point, don't I? Oh, are we on? Did I fix it?
Yep.
Did it only take 300 minutes?
Yep.
So I'm on the regular one now?
That's what it looks like.
Ay, ay, ay. How y'all doing? Okay. Here we are. We can't mess around with this. Whoops, don't listen to myself. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Todd, where we start on time, but we still don't. Anyway. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Emily. Good morning, Joanne. Marie, hi. How you doing? Jared Carbonneau. Yes. It's a good hat, isn't it? I know. All right. Well, sorry about that messing around, folks. See, I pay for this this service that sends this off into like 5 different locations. So when I go live, y'all get to see it. And it does the captions too, so if the sound's off, it tries to figure out what I'm saying. And every once in a while, it just doesn't connect to one. And today was the day. But we fixed it. Yay! All right. So, on the show this morning, we have from Barrie, Vermont, singer-songwriter Tim Brick. He's working on a new album. We're going to talk to him about that. And talk to him about his fundraiser that he's got going on as well. And coming up next week... coming up next week on Coffee with Todd, James Lee Baker is a singer-songwriter from the Colorado area. I believe a folk singer. We're going to be chatting with him as well. So, Tim Brick today, James Lee Baker not tomorrow, next Sunday. Though I wish it was tomorrow. Micah, take it easy, you guys. Mark, what did you, Mark, you wanted me to tell people stuff. You wanted me to tell them that you got vaccinated. Is that correct? Mark Sikolis is fully vaccinated.
All right.
Ooh. That works good. All right, let's get this coffee hour underway. I need a new F harmonica. Well, I might win, I might lose. Sometimes life is cruel, but I can always sing the blues. It's me and my guitar. Love may come, love may go. Sometimes you'll take love slow, but you'll never be alone. Me and my guitar. We might not get too far, but we'll always be together, thick and thin. So if a crowd gathers around, or if times get hard, the music music rings forever. We'll always be together. Best friends forever, baby. Me and my guitar. Lazy days, crazy nights, it can't all be wrong. So come and y'all sing along. Me and my guitar. Me and my guitar. We might not get too far. We'll always be together. Thick and thin, so the fake crowd gathers around. Or if times get hard, music rings forever. We'll always be together. Best friends forever, baby. Coffee with Todd. I might win, I might lose. Sometimes life is cruel. You can always sing the blues. Just me and my guitar. Love may come, love may go. Sometimes you'll take love slow. You'll always be alone. Me and my guitar. I just said you'll always be alone if you have a guitar. Those are not the lyrics. The lyrics are you'll never be alone. I have not had enough coffee yet this morning. Yeehaw. Me and my guitar. Might not get too far. We'll always be together. Through thick and thin, so if a crowd gathers around, if times get hard, the music rings forever. We'll always be together. Best friends forever, baby. Me and my guitar. All right. All right. What the heck? Oh. What is this morning? Jeez Louise, it knocked my glasses off. My hat's coming off. I can't put it on. I better get our guest on here to save this show. Otherwise, this thing is going completely off the rails already this morning. Good morning, David. How y'all doing? Let's see. So, how did this morning start off? We didn't connect to all the outlets, so we had a whoops there. We got it reconnected. I couldn't get my harmonica on because it wouldn't fit over my hat. Then when I took it off, my hat and my glasses fell off. Well, the show must go on, and the coffee is always hot. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today. They said that it was supposed to like rain with a chance of thunderstorms all day today, but they pushed it back to like afternoon. So I'm hoping that we can get out there and enjoy some nice weather. Maybe go get some ice cream at Sweet Scoops. That would be cool.
Yeah. Wow, now it's really pushed to like 7 p.m.
Good. Rain at night when nobody cares.
Right.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I love it. Some sunshine. I already mowed the lawn, so today we can just relax. The crabapple tree is starting to flower in the backyard, which is usually a little bit earlier than this. Maybe not. It's always a beautiful, beautiful tree, though. I'll try to take a picture of it, show it to y'all next week. Okay, so real quick, let's do a little bit of housekeeping here. First of all, if you would like to help support the show, you can send a donation my way here via this. Whoops, I moved it over this PayPal link or Venmo. Every little bit helps me pay all the costs associated with keeping this thing on the air and distributing it out to the masses. Yes, and I thank you to everybody that's donated. It means a lot to me. I couldn't do this show without you, so thank you so much. What other housekeeping do I have today? Oh, yeah, you can always buy a coffee mug. And Danielle Paquin, if you were watching this morning, your cup is going out tomorrow, or your mug, sorry. Had a little technical difficulties this week and did get to the post office, but it's going out. And if you buy a mug today, it will also go out tomorrow. And you will have your very own stylish Coffee with Todd coffee mug. It makes coffee taste better. It adds more caffeine. It's magical. And before we bring our guest Tim Brick on, I just wanted to say that this Thursday I will be doing a live stream concert from the Underground in Randolph, Vermont. It'll be available for you all to watch on online. There'll be a link on my Facebook page, on my Twitter, on my Instagram, all that stuff. Live from the Underground, a recording studio in Randolph, Vermont. I'm going to be doing it with a trio. So we've got some upright bass. We've got some sit-down drums and acoustic guitar. It's going to be a great time. It is going to be the first time that I have driven to do a show in over a year. I'm very excited to wear real pants at a show. Not to ruin the illusion, but I'm in my pajama bottoms right now because, you know, I don't think there's a camera on down here. No, it's going to be so fun. Our friends down in Randolph are graciously hosting us, and it's going to be a blast. So I would love to see you on there, and it benefits, let's just go back to that picture real quick. It benefits the Chandler Center for the Arts. Yes, 10% of the proceeds will go to the Chandler Center for the Arts in Randolph, Vermont. And as we all know, the arts have had a rough patch the past year, so any little bit helps. Okay, let's get our guest on. Let's hope that my microphone doesn't fall over or something else weird this morning, because you just never know what's going to happen. All right, his name is Tim Brick. Let me just refresh this coffee real quick here. By the way, I was mowing the lawn yesterday, and if I sound a little hoarse, it's allergies. It's like a pollen farm out there. There's just, my car is about the color of this shirt, and it's just covered in yellow dust. The grill and our chairs, like we ate dinner out on our back porch last night, and Danielle had to wipe the table down. It was just pollen. I'm not complaining though, because pollen means bees, and bees mean flowers and honey and prettiness and spring, and that snow is gone for good for now. Good morning, Colleen. Thanks for tuning in. All right. He is from Barrie, Vermont. He travels all around the state playing country music at fairs, at bars, at festivals and get-togethers, and beyond Vermont as well. He's got 2 albums out, I believe, right now, working on his 3rd, and he is joining us this morning. His name is Tim Brick. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning.
How's Tim Brick doing?
Very good, very good. It's good to see you, Todd. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure, man. I was trying to think back. The last time I think I saw you in person, didn't weren't we doing a show with Wayne Warner in like Newport or Orleans or something?
I think it was Newport.
Yeah.
I do believe it
And
was like the
that
high
was
school, wasn't it?
yeah, it was something that he was doing for awareness for drinking and driving or something like that. And
Yeah,
boy,
that's when I actually the first time I met any of the Comos. Um,
yeah.
I was it Don Como, I think was there,
Yep.
and but yeah, I remember that night clear as a bell.
That was a while ago though, man. That was like
Yeah.
I don't even remember. That could have been 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, it was probably
Yeah.
about 2010, 2011, maybe around that
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah, man. And at that point, and used to come up to the radio station when I worked there every
that
now and
yeah,
again.
I used to love that. The first time I remember the first time I was up there, and do you remember when I sat down? We were starting the interview, and the mic came dislodged,
Oh, yeah.
and we and so I think Bethany
Devaney.
or Devaney
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
was holding it while I was doing the interview.
That's
So,
right. I forgot.
yeah, I love stuff like that. I mean
Oh,
that's half the reason why I like to travel and get out and
yeah.
the music business is it's kind of like that. A lot of off the cuff stuff just happens, and you either make it work or
Yeah.
laugh it off.
It's amazing all the stuff that happens like right before a show that the audience doesn't see, but it always ends up being okay in the end for the most part.
Oh yeah, that's what I always thought was great about the entertainment, and it's kind of the illusion,
Yeah.
because there's like you said, so much goes on behind the scenes that people don't see or know about, and sometimes it's amazing that the show even goes off at times.
Speaking of that, I mean, you in normal times are out gigging an insane amount. Like you're always out on the road. So what's the past year been like for you?
Oh, pretty calm.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was actually it was a blessing really in a way for me because
Yeah.
up until that point I was having a hard time getting focus on writing new material
Mm.
because I was so busy playing, keeping the band rehearsed, and pushing the last record. Um, so when when the pandemic came along, I used that time to just kind of really just dig in deep and focus. And I think I had 3 songs before things shut down, and I wrote I think 11 more during the lockdown period. And
Wow.
yeah, well, it's funny because like we were saying earlier, how time flies. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been my last record was released in 2017, July of 2017,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh my god, it's 2021, and I got to
Yeah.
get moving on a new. You get that itch as a songwriter when you're. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that's like a constant flow. Um, I'm probably more methodical, and I just when it's time to write, I dig in and focus on it. Um,
Yeah.
but it's just you're always looking for that kind of connection with inspiration and everything. So, but it came out good, and so I contacted Colin McCaffrey, and I said, "Hey, man, you want to produce my next record? I got some songs together." So, and
Cool.
that.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
so I was
I'll
just
go.
gonna say
I'll
so.
keep going. I'm a gag factory.
Hey, that's all right. No, it's good. It's a talk show. I
Mm-hmm.
was just gonna
That's
say, so
true.
Colin's gonna be the one that's producing the album then.
Yeah, he produced. When did I? I started working with Colin in 2000, I think 13, and I
Okay.
did a 3-song EP, and uh, that was great. It was like sonically, it brought my music to a whole new level. And
Yeah.
once I achieved that, I was like, I don't want to go backwards at all. And so when I was ready to make a full length album, I enlisted Colin again, and that's the album, my last record called Just Passing Through.
Yep.
And so I was happy that he wanted to work together again. We work well together. He pushes me, and we exchange a lot of ideas on arrangements, and kind of, it forces me to take a harder look at the meat of the song. So
yeah. So do you do like a lot of pre-production with him, like prior to going into the studio, or?
Yeah. Actually, we just wrapped up the pre-production on the last song. Probably, I think it was a week and a half ago. We spent a couple months just we went over every song and the arrangements, the lyrics. I did a lot of rewrites on the lyrics, and but I like that stuff. I like being challenged in that way because I'm so close to my songs, that it sometimes skews my vision of things. And so it's nice to have someone coming in that's very fresh from the outside saying, oh, yeah, that's good, but this didn't hit me right. What about this? And, the subject matter of the song, what direction, what are you trying to say here? Are you saying it the best way you can? And then also when you're doing just scratch vocals, I like, he challenges me in that way too. He works with me on melody a lot if I'm a little bit off, which I tend to be sometimes. I'm not one of these pitch perfect guys, let's just say.
Me too, man. Absolutely. That's really cool that he does that. I've never met Colin, but I've certainly heard a bunch of his work, and I've heard his name for years. Like, he was going to be one of the busiest producer dudes in Vermont.
I would imagine so. I mean,
yeah.
God, there's just a lot of people like Mark LeGrand, Patty Casey, Danny Cohn. God, I mean, just a lot of people. Even his own band, the Stone Cold Roosters. I mean, he's always doing stuff. He's either playing or recording, and he's able to make a full-time living off of it because his product speaks for itself. I think. Sure. I mean, when I won the Tammy Award for Best Country Album off Just Passing Through, I attribute that to Colin. That was due to Colin's production and suggestions on arrangements and stuff. I kind of felt like I went over a little hump into a new area when I started working with him. So
it's amazing what a producer can do for an artist, and I think a lot of, most of us are independent musicians,
Yeah.
And I think it's hard. I'm speaking from my experience. I'll see if it's the same for you. But the first time I sat down with the producer and they started like going through my songs like with a red pen and being like, no, this line is no good, or that melody is too boring,
Yeah.
At first it was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear it, but man, the end result is just, it's separate. It almost separates you from the rest of the pack,
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, there was 98% of the time when Colin comes up with a suggestion or something, he's usually right from my aspect. But there was a couple things I stuck to my guns on, and he's totally, that's the relationship. He'll be honest with you. He'll be like, well, this line right here is a really cliche line, and I had one of those, and I actually told him, I was like, I know it might be cliche, I said, but I love that line. I said, they can call me out on it if they want. And he's like, all right. He's like, that's cool. He's like, but I'm just telling you, that might happen. And but that's I think we have a mutual respect for each other in that sense. And we know each other, we respect each other's opinion, and allow each other to kind of, if we're really adamant about going down a certain road, we're able to step into each other's shoes, I think, and see it from each other, the other person's vantage point. So
Yeah.
I know I haven't really worked with I've worked with one other producer, and it wasn't really a producer. We were just friends, really good friends, doing demos, and so this is kind of my first. Colin would probably be my first legitimate producer I've ever worked with. So
Yeah.
and I'm like a talking business card for Colin, because
Yeah.
everywhere I go, I'm like praising. So I hope he gets a couple clients from me.
Yeah, me too, man.
Get a little
Maybe-
kickback on it.
Maybe we'll get him on the show. Actually,
I think he would be a wonderful guest to talk to, because he's a very interesting cat, man, and Berkeley trained, and
Oh, is he? He's a Berkeley dude.
mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, and I believe he's one of those multi instrumentalists too. I mean, plays fiddle, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, bass, piano.
Wow.
I mean,
So does he play on your albums too, or?
Yeah, my last album he did all the bass tracks and fiddle, all the fiddles, bass, and he on one song we put a viola, I believe it was.
Oh wow.
And, yeah, he put that on there as well, and harmony vocals.
Oh, cool.
He's got like perfect pitch, so he can, which is a blessing and a curse, because it's a blessing for him, but a curse when he works with people like me, because it probably drives him a little crazy. Some of the, because I'm not one of these guys that goes in and just like nails it in one take. I've always had to work a lot at what I do, and sometimes it comes out good, and sometimes it's questionable. So
it's all part of the process.
Yeah,
I know.
Right, man.
I know that he doesn't need to play the pedal steel on your albums though, because you have a fantastic pedal steel player that plays with you a lot. And
George Seymour.
Yeah, and man, is that a coveted spot, especially in the state of Vermont. There are not a lot of steel guitar players.
Yeah, and believe me, that's not lost on me. He's a multi-instrumentalist too. He plays, his original instrument was the banjo. He comes from a bluegrass background, and which is why I love his attack on this pedal steel. He's an aggressive player.
Yeah,
and I think that comes directly from being a banjo picker. And I'm a big fan of Ralph Mooney, and he was a really aggressive player. And George also plays fiddle, and does harmony vocals as well. But you're right, there's not many up here in the Northeast. There's not many pedal steel players available, and especially of you don't see a lot of young players. Once you get down south, you'll see a lot of young pedal steel players, but up here you don't see them as much. And it's a beautiful instrument. I found them on Craigslist.
Really?
Yeah. I was working with I don't know if you probably know him, TJ Powers.
I know the name. Yeah, I'm not familiar.
He was a guitar player in my group, and
I might have met him then.
And he's the one that came to practice one night, and he said there's a guy on Craigslist from the central Vermont area, pedal steel player, looking for a band to play with. And so that night after rehearsal, I answered the ad, and he came down, I believe, the next week, and he's never left.
Wow, that's
great.
So
I'm happy with, he's a good guy, real good guy.
Yeah. So, what area are you in? I don't know.
I'm in the Barrie, Montpelier area.
Okay.
Central Vermont, and
George
is from Waterbury.
Okay.
And then my bass player Scott Cornet, he's from Williamstown, and my drummer Gary Spalding is from Rutland. So he has to travel a little bit when we have some practices. So.
Yeah, he's got a haul, man.
But believe me, he probably doesn't mind it now. We had our first rehearsal a couple weeks ago, and we were all just psyched to.
Felt good. Oh, I bet.
Oh yeah, just to be together, and for me, it felt like a week had passed.
Really?
Not a year.
Just right back. Right.
Yeah,
back
it was weird. It just seemed like it was like picked right back up on where we were, and George was different. George was like he felt like it was kind of like a time warp in a way. It kind of threw him for a loop, and but yeah, to me it was very natural, and we spent some time catching up with each other, and tried to see how much music we could remember playing with each other.
That's great, man. Well, I know for probably a lot of people watching this show right now, they might recognize you because you've played up in the Northeast Kingdom quite a bit. I know you've played Friday Night Live and you've played different venues. But for people that don't know who Tim Brick is, give me like the Cliff Notes of Tim Brick and his music.
Well, I would just say my music is honest as the day is long, and I write from the inside out. So a lot of what my music is about is personal experiences, emotions I may be going through at the time, and I do a little bit of social commentary, but I usually do it through once again through my lens and my experiences. And I'd say I don't know, my music. I try to have my music. I like to have it with an edge. I always like to say country with an edge, because I have a rock and roll background, and that seems to always stick with me in whatever I do. And I'm not like one of these Eddie Arnold make the world go away country singers. I'm like a Waylon Jennings, Blackberry Smoke, Jamie Johnson type dude. That's the stuff I really dig, honest and true. And I think that's why it tends to, I think my music and the music I love have a little edge to it. Because I guess when you're talking about real life, that's what real life is. It has an edge to it. It's not all flowers, So.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah, but it makes us appreciate the good times, when we go through the rough times.
Absolutely, man. The life would be boring if there weren't a little bit of bumps along the way.
That's for sure. And I think this summer hopefully is will be one of those cathartic. That's the word I'm looking for. Kind of, I guess, psychological treatments for us to get back together and experiences each other's company again. Although it might be on a limited basis, but it'll be more towards, I think, the normal end of things than certainly last year was.
Yeah, and man, I think we all need it. I think we're all itching for it, and
big time.
It's gonna be. Hopefully, it's gonna be a big party this summer.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying the '80s might come back. I guess
they might. I just hope the fashion doesn't.
Yeah, me too. God. Hey, although I'm guilty of listening to a lot of that stuff back then.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you.
As I get older, I appreciate the music of the '80s much more than I did when I was younger.
Especially, I appreciate the '80s pop stuff a lot more than I used to. I used to hate that stuff growing up. I was always a rock and roll guy, and if it didn't have a guitar player that was a predominant instrument in the band, I didn't like it. But nowadays I totally look back on artists like Men at Work,
the Talking Heads and stuff.
The Talking Heads, Pretenders. I've always liked the Police, and I even like. I mean, really, when to get one of my secret or guilty pleasures is the Buggles. Video Killed the Radio Star. I don't know what it is about that song. I think it's just the incredible hook in the chorus. Yeah, and it's like one of those brain worms. It gets in there. But
Yeah.
I've always loved that song since the first time I heard it, actually. So
I'm like that with Cyndi Lauper. I love Cyndi Lauper. She's a
That's true.
fantastic writer.
a fantastic singer too. I mean,
Yeah, she's got a cool voice, and she's weird as all get out, which makes it even
Yeah.
more fun. You know.
last time I saw her, she was on one of those like a skin commercial or something
Oh
for
yeah.
eczema or something, selling
Yeah, you're right.
some drug that they were selling. I don't know. I was like, is that Cyndi Lauper?
Yeah.
It's like, no
That's
way.
what happens when you get older, man. You start off doing beer commercials and you end up doing commercials for Depends or something.
Yeah, AARP, man. That's-
Hey, let's have you sing a couple songs.
sure.
I
We'll do
bet
that.
I know you. I know you got a guitar kicking around there. So there it is.
Right there.
Yes. Yeah, man. Yeah,
I'll
we'll
have
do a
to-
couple songs and then we'll chat some more.
All right, man. I'll have to disconnect for a second with these headphones.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a song just about simple living. I actually wrote this while I was watching an Andy Griffith show. It's a song called Country Style. Faded jeans and dirt roads, old dogs and country stores, a handshake and a smile never go out of style. Where I come from, pickup trucks and cold beer, cruising on a John Deere. It's a simple way of life that feels so right. We're rolling round here, where everybody knows your name. They're always here to lend you a hand. No need to lock your doors at night to keep the world outside. When you're living country style, suntans with a cool breeze, shade under a maple tree, an old swimming hole where all the local folk go. So jump on in. Sparks lie in the moonlight, blue-eyed dream to hold tight. Let your head down, shake it all around, load and go wild. Where everybody knows your name, they're always there to lend you a hand. No need to lock your doors at night to keep the world outside. When you're living country style, shake off those blues. You got nothing to lose. Just leave all your worries and troubles far behind. Oh, living country style. Where everybody knows your name, they're always there to lend you a hand. No need to lock your doors at night to keep the world outside. You can let your head down, shake it all around and go wild. When you're living country style, you're living country style. Little bit of country style. That's a song, Country Style. Lead track off my last CD. So
Nice.
I got to put these back on to hear you.
Oh, that's right. What? Wait, I'm gonna mess with you.
Yeah, really.
Let's do one more song and then we'll chat a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I could do this is also off my last CD. I wrote this while I was living down in Austin, Texas for a short time. And
That's right.
I was kind of feeling a little low down, so I wrote this song, and I always like this song. It's a tune called Neon Cross.
Sweet.
Making my way to Austin, northbound on 35. Six strings by my side, leaving San Antonio. And who are all these people flying by my window? Tail lights fade into the dawn. Well, I've come 2,000 miles to find out what I love was back behind me in the hills of my home. I'm traveling down a Harvard road towards a neon cross. They got Jesus on a billboard, flashing his fancy lights, showing me the sins of my life. As if I didn't know them, of all the roads I've traveled, the scars and the trials that I've survived. Well, I've come 2,000 miles to find out what I loved was back behind me in the hills of my home. I'm traveling down a Harvard road towards a neon cross. Every road that I choose leads me in the wrong direction. I ask myself, am I too far gone for resurrection? Under the lights of the neon cross. Making my way to Austin, northbound on 35. Six strings by my side, leaving San Antonio.
Yeah, man.
There we go. Yeah,
I'm
you
just
almost got me, actually. I was like, what?
I don't know what happened. Oh, that's a great song, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that I always like that one because that one came from such a deep, kind of a deep, honest, authentic place within me.
Yeah.
I mean, every word in that is every word in that I've experienced, you know. So, and even when I sing it, it brings back. It's like a Rolodex of memories and pictures in my mind when I sing it. So.
That's what music's supposed to do, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
definitely.
What do I see that thing on Facebook every once in a while? It's like Music is what emotions sound like, or something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
that's right.
So,
It's a great
what?
communicator.
Yeah,
It's amazing when I watch concert videos and like Argentina, they don't know any English, but they're singing every word of the band's songs back to them. It's that's
yeah,
gets right back to what you're saying. It's all about emotion and
yeah,
that connection. I mean,
yeah.
that's why I play music. If you
Right.
want to boil everything down to the essence of it, it's just I play music so I can express myself in order to make a human connection with somebody.
Yeah, man. And country music's a great genre to do that with too.
Yeah, I almost like a lot of. I guess I am a country musician. I don't know. I almost feel like, and you probably felt like this too, as a songwriter, that you're just you. You're not really any
Yeah,
genre. You're just you, and but you can't
yeah,
you can't market that.
yeah. I
In a
know.
sense, like it's the machine, the music industry. They need the labels. They need the genres
Yeah,
in order to put people in the categories they need to do. But
yeah. It's very
the
true.
older I get, the more I realize there is no genres. If there is, there's two: good and bad, and
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. Exactly. Well, there's plenty of bad. I don't know. I don't know if this is something you want to get into or not, but I'm gonna bring it up. What's
I'll
your
go ahead. I have no
idea of the
fear of. Go ahead.
no fear of offending anyone? What's the
No,
what's your view on the current state of country music? Because I love country music, and I always feel like I have to defend my position. Like, I love country music. Wow, I like country music.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't like the country pop stuff
No.
that comes out of Nashville, and
Yeah.
that's probably the main stuff where I'm located. You know, we have a radio station here, a country radio station, and they, it's that top 10, 20 songs that
Hmm.
it's country pop, and it's
Yeah.
fake drums, it's auto tune. I mean, it's auto tune to the point where it's so blatant that it's an auto tune. It sounds like
Yeah.
that Cher song, you know,
Yeah.
and
It's almost like you're not cool anymore if you can't tell that there's auto tune on, and not just country music, like
everything.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I to be honest with you, that type of stuff is just absolute shit. I hate it. It's
Yeah.
crap. And I have no. I know a lot of people like that stuff, and but
Sure.
you're never gonna catch me ever playing that stuff.
You're not
But
going
at
down the
this,
road bumping Florida Georgia line.
nah. If I every time I think of like Florida Georgia Line, and I'm sure they're great people. I'm not knocking them as
I'm
people.
sure they are. Yeah.
But I think a lot of these people go into Nashville, and Nashville controls them to the point
Yeah. Yeah.
where it's like we control your image, what you're going to do, what songs you're going to do. And every time I think of bands like that, I think of the when the coyote would chase the roadrunner, and a hole would be in the middle of the road or something, and the roadrunner
Yeah.
would run right over the hole, and he'd be like, but the coyote would always drop down. That's what I wish would happen to like country pop music. It would just drop in that hole, and you never see it again. But at the same time, there are great country artists today. New,
Oh yeah.
young cats that are out there. Whitey Morgan,
Hmm.
Sturgill Simpson, Jason Isbell, Ryan Bingham. Um,
Yeah.
I love J.B. Johnson. He's kind of
Yeah.
like the
Sure.
grandfather of like the new movement. Chris Stapleton.
Sure.
People that are really genuinely honest and true and with their music, and that comes through. It, honesty comes through like a hammer over the head, just as much as fake bullshit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's
Do
always
you?
going to be that way. There'll be a backlash. I think Chris Stapleton was kind of that way, and Sturgill. They were the answer to the constant um,
Yeah.
kind of increasing pop factor and rap factor. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even watch the country award shows at all anymore, because I know
Yeah,
there's going to be nothing on there that's going to make me happy. It's
Yeah,
going
my
to just
girlfriend, like,
infuriate me.
my girlfriend and I used to watch them, and now she just knows that I probably don't want to watch them because I'll say, yeah, I'll watch it, and then I sit there yelling at the TV the whole time.
I think I
my
tried for
lawn!
like 5. Yeah, I think I tried for like 5 minutes, and I just was like, I cannot take this. It's
Yeah.
just, and the fact that they didn't even. I think the last year, they didn't even give a lot of like Jerry Jeff Walker.
Yeah.
They didn't even mention him, how he had passed away. I mean, just such an influential songwriter in country music.
Yeah. Like,
And,
they barely mentioned John Prine. Like,
Yeah, and that's another
barely.
one.
Yeah, barely mentioned him. But yeah,
Yeah,
Jerry Jeff, they didn't.
No, there wasn't even.
They didn't say anything
nothing.
about Justin Townes Earl either.
Yeah,
You know?
that's right.
You know?
See,
it's
and
like-
that's when that stuff happens. That's when I almost don't like to say that I'm a country music artist in a way, because a lot of people will, when they think of country music, they think of that shit and that
Yeah.
crap, and it's like, no, I ain't associated with that at all. But
I hear a lot of people tell me, like, oh, I like country music, but I don't like that twangy stuff. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
so you don't like country music then?
that's right. Yeah,
Oh, I
if
got
you don't
it.
like the twangy stuff, then I mean, just
if you
move
don't
on
like
down
Hank
the line.
Williams, then you don't like country music.
Wow, there's that for if you want to dive deep for these country fans that are kind of new to the genre, there is a nice song called "If You Don't Like Hank Williams, You Can Kiss My Ass,"
Yeah.
and that's a great song. People ought to check that out.
Was it Christofferson that wrote that?
Oh,
I know a few people have covered it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Including Hank Jr., but
Yeah, I almost thought that, got the impression that Hank Jr. wrote it about his father, but I'm not positive on that. I mean, I was actually just checking that he was performing that song, an old clip on YouTube from the Uz Festival back in like 1982, and they had Country Day, and they had a bunch of great artists. Alabama, Waylon Jennings headlined the evening. Yeah, it was cool. It's
let's Google
it's kind of the
that.
beauty
Let's
of
see.
technology today.
Yeah. Let's see who wrote that. If you don't like Hank Williams. Song by Hank Williams Jr. But did he write it? Where's the Wikipedia article?
Yeah, really.
Here? Yeah, maybe he did write it. Huh. I don't know why I thought Christofferson. It sounds like a song that Christofferson would have written.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Another,
it's-
just legendary
it is.
songwriter.
No, wait. I think it is a Christofferson song.
Huh.
Oh, wait. Well, maybe. Who knows? Not found. Well, it doesn't matter. So the reason you're here is we talked about earlier. You're recording a new album, and you're raising some funds to get that off the ground. So let me magically put this link up here. Look at that. Wow.
Nice. Yeah, that's I had to. Well, as you can relate to being a musician yourself, last year sucked as far as live shows. There weren't any. I mean, much after March. There was a few in the summer, outdoor events. But yeah, that typically that's what I would do. I would take the income I would make off the live shows, and I would put it back into recording the next album. And so I didn't have that to lean on. So I said, well, I'll try a GoFundMe. I did a fundraiser for my 3-song EP a few years back. I believe it was a Kickstarter, and that pretty much helped me release it. And so this time around, I decided to do GoFundMe, and so far it's been great. I'm hoping to raise $7,000 to cover everything from the beginning of tracking all the way to getting the CD fully packaged, ready for sale. And I think we got about almost $1,300 raised so far. So yeah, it's it's very it means a lot to. It's kind of it's it leaves you awestruck in a way because even though you do that and you put that out there, you never know if any, especially during these times, if some people lost their jobs, they don't have anything to give anyway. So you never know how it's going to go. But every time I'll check in with it or something, and I see some new donations, it's such a wonderful thing to know that people like my music enough to invest in it, and it's like I always say, this is what the cool thing about this is we can take the journey together because I'm going to be doing updates in the studio and stuff, so people can go to the campaign and view updates, see how everything is progressing, and in a way, maybe get
cool.
kind of a behind the scenes peek into how records are made. So
it's kind of like being an executive producer in a way.
I guess, but that's the scary thing.
The producer is usually the one that puts up the money, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I talk with people all the time, and I'm not against Spotify and all this stuff. I realize it's important. I use Spotify to listen to music. But I always try to buy the artist's album if I really like them, to support them, because streaming royalties are nil. But I tell people all the time, like, well, why are you raising money to put this album out? I'm like, well, it costs just as much as it ever did for a musician to go in and make the album. Just because you can listen to it for free, it doesn't mean that it still didn't cost a musician $7,000 to pay. I mean, it's expensive. It's studio time, and then you've got to press the album, and then you even have to pay to put it on Spotify. And I don't know about you, but I've never made enough money from streams to even cover the hosting fee to keep it on the website year after year.
Typically, what I do is, I go through CD Baby. They package most of my stuff, and the reason why I like them is because for a little, you kick them a little $50-$60 extra, they get your music on all those digital platforms. And but you're right. I mean, and what happens is those, you set a limit on, after, say, I make $25 on streams. Once it hits that mark, they cut you a check and send it to you. But I'd never hardly make anything off those. I mean, I've gotten a few checks from streaming, but you look at the rundown, the report that they give you, and it's like a 0.001 of a cent for for the download, and it's a double-edged sword because it's a great thing to get your music out to a massive amount of people and the ease of it all. But the problem is everybody can do that. And what happens is it makes it harder to stand out because now you got a huge pool of just music. And, a lot of it is, people doing it in their bedroom, self-produced stuff. And I don't think that's necessarily up to par. I'm old-fashioned in that sense. I love going into a studio. I love working with a producer. I love working with, live musicians in the room, and it's cool. I mean, I'm kind of a throwback in that sense. I could never be one of those guys that just sits in my bedroom all day and I tried doing it myself years ago. Yeah. And I quickly learned that you get done like after working for 6 months and you hear it and it's like, the vocals are way too loud and the guitar is way too loud. Why is that? Oh, it's because I'm a singer and a guitar player. And
let's let the bass player mix it.
Exactly. I wish that happened with Injustice for All in Metallica.
The bass player had nothing to do with that mix.
Nothing. I don't even see why they even brought him into the building. But I think it's important to bring other people into the project, and
I agree. I think this is cool. Like if somebody helps, on your GoFundMe, so you're going to basically be giving them updates like, hey, this is the studio, these are the guys playing on it.
And I'm actually going into the studio this weekend.
Yeah, man.
Start tracking.
Lane Gibson, right?
Yeah, Lane Gibson. I don't know the official name for the studio up there. I just call it Lane Gibson Studio.
Yeah, dude. I don't either. But every time I've ever heard anybody talk about his studio, they just say, "I'm going to Lane's studio."
Yeah, that's right. Man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great vibe up there. You know, a lot of great Vermont artists have recorded up there. I mean, I think
Yeah,
Grace,
Grace
Potter, did her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
did her early albums up there, and of course, I think he worked with Kilimanjaro too back in
Really?
the day. I'm
Could
pretty
be.
sure he worked with all them guys pretty closely. Um,
I know he was in some bands. He's a hell of a keyboard player himself.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I want to say that he might have played in Kilimanjaro. I might be wrong though.
Could have. A guy I work with knows him from that scene, and he told me the name of the bands that he played in. And
I'll tell you my favorite Lane Gibson story. This is when
Okay.
I knew that how attention to detail matters. We were cutting a song of mine called "My Neck of the Woods," and we cut it at a certain BPM. And to me, I was like, "Yeah, man, that sounds cool. Nice groove." And Lane and everybody was kind of about ready to go down that road, but then Lane spoke up. He's like, you know what? He's like, I don't know if I'll be right, but just try it. He's like, let's just drop it down 1 BPM and go in and do another take on it. And I swear to God
one.
that yeah, just one. And it brought that groove out so much. It locked it right into place. And that was the very first time I had ever experienced anything like that. And I remember sitting back. I didn't say nothing. I just remember sitting back and was like, that's something to be cognizant of, definitely
Yeah.
in the future. So that's why when we did pre-production this time around, we were very sensitive to that issue of.
So you've already picked your beats per minute and all that stuff, and
Yeah, everything. Colin goes. Once we get the arrangement, he charts everything out, and then we send them along to the musicians. So when they come into the studio, that they'll be prepared. And because, as you know, time is money, and I ain't got a lot of money, so I got to
used
take
work
advantage
with
of that time.
I don't got a lot of money either. I used to work with a mutual friend of ours. His name's JD Green.
Oh yeah,
And he would always say, we were in radio together, and he would always say, prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
that's right. The 5 Ps, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
still remember that, and I tell
that
that
was like his
to myself
mantra.
daily. I tell that. Actually, I had to remind him of that one day about the 5 Ps, and he kind of
You had
looked
to
at me
remind him?
confused, and I was like, "Yeah." I said, "You know the 5 Ps," and I went on and say, "Oh yeah, totally." I think he had another one added since the meantime, so now I think it's up to 6 Ps. But
It could be.
you did. I think the 6 P is a profanity
Prius.
of some
It's
sort.
Prius.
Yeah, right.
It's Prius.
That's right.
Oh, hey, I don't want to keep you all day because I know you got stuff to do, but I do want to hear another song. But before we do that other song, I have a gift for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. I hooked up with this company called Prolix, and they make guitar humidifiers.
Oh, cool.
And we're getting towards the end of the season where you need to humidify your guitar, but this is going to go in the mail to you. Oh, the light's kind of shining on it.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
It is, dude, it's the cool. I don't know if you use humidifiers or what you use. I've used Oasis and the Diodario Humidipacks and all these things.
Yeah.
And this is all it is. And there's like these little beads in there. You can hear them.
Huh.
And you fill this thing with water and you stick it in and it soaks it all up. And then you let it dry. And this thing gets about 4 times the size of its weight.
Really?
And you just throw it in the case and it just lightly throughout the whole time. I filled mine up, I want to say about a month ago. It's not empty yet, and my guitar is at like 47% humidity or something in the
Oh, no
case.
kidding.
So
To be
they're
honest with you, I've
sending...
never used humidifiers.
No? Oh, man.
No. And I keep it. It's surprising too. That's the type of person I am because the more I care for something, uh, you know, the more that it's not around very long or something happens to it.
Yeah,
But it seems like when I'm like more like nonchalant, I just hang it up on the wall down in the basement, and I make sure it doesn't get too cold or hot
Right.
down there. But
Yeah, man.
yeah, and I've been lucky, but I have thought about using a humidifier,
Yeah.
especially because when we were tracking in pre-production, Colin was saying how he's like, "Wow, that Taylor of yours, man." He's like, "It sounds beautiful. It sounds like you've been playing it a lot, And and I was kind of thinking, I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm lucky in that sense. I really don't take care of it as good as I should." I was like, maybe I should try this humidifier thing. So that's
Yeah, man.
that's great,
Well,
man. Yeah, I'll
this will
definitely
be
try
coming
it.
in the mail to you soon. I'll mail
Sweet.
it right now. Ready?
Yeah.
It's on its way. Did
Can
you
we
get
like
it? Ah.
use some CGI and like put that
Yeah.
in?
I didn't
man.
hit you, did I? I just threw it at my girlfriend. Like, ah! Sitting on the yeah, man. They're cool enough to give one to every one of my guests. So
Yeah, man.
it'll be on its way.
That's great. I was actually, I'm hoping to get a sponsorships once things get going back up. I'd like to get a Fender sponsorship because,
Yeah.
I play a Fender Telly on the electric end of things.
Yeah.
So I just like to get free strings. That's all I want. I just want
Yeah, I
some
know,
free
right?
strings, man.
Yeah.
So
we gotta
Fender,
go
if you're
through-
listening, or Taylor,
Yeah, anyone.
if you're listening, free strings, man.
Yeah, let's show off that guitar. That's one thing I like to do. I like to show off guitars.
This is
Whoops. There we go.
it's a 314 cutaway.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I got this, back in 2012, I think. And I actually broke her in down on Broadway in Nashville,
Nice.
playing at a lot of songwriters rounds. And but I love this guitar because this is the one where I guess it uses the Expression pickup system.
Oh,
I
so
guess.
yeah, the body, like you tap it and it comes right through.
Yeah, and so I was like, "Well, that sounds fancy." I said, "I guess we'll get that one." And I remember the day I bought it. The guy who sold it to me, which I'll do another plug here for Vermont company, Advanced Music, out of Burlington, Vermont. And the guy put it in a case, and he looked at me. He's like, "This is the worst that this guitar will ever sound."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well," so when that made me think of that too. When Colin said, "It shows that you've been playing this guitar a lot," because it's true, especially acoustic guitars. The wood, over time it cures and it kind of, it expands and contracts and you just break it in. It's like an old pair of boots or something.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about acoustic guitars, man, is they like electric guitars, not so much, because a lot of the sound from an electric guitar are the pickups. I mean, the wood has something to do with it, but the pickups in your fingers. But acoustic guitars, man, like that guy's right. If you know what I did, the last time I got a brand new guitar, which is about 2 years ago, I recorded it, and I wanted to do a comparison a couple years later, and I haven't done it yet, but I've always wanted to do that because
that'd be interesting, actually.
they just open right up. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I never really noticed it because I'm always playing.
Right.
And but yeah, I think Colin picked up on it because I had this guitar when we recorded the last album too, and I did all the acoustic and guitars and pre-production stuff on this guitar. So it's just it's an organic, it's an organic instrument. It comes from the earth. It comes from wood. So,
and Taylors are great for recording too. Like they kind of scoop out some of the frequencies that the producer was going to scoop out anyway.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I loved the minute I played this. I love this guitar, but Martin too has some beautiful.
Yeah.
I played some Martins that just sounded gorgeous. Jeremy Sicily has a Martin, and when I first got back from Texas, I caught the band he was playing in at the time, the Hillside Rounders down at Sweet Melissa's in Montpelier,
Yeah.
and he called me up on stage to do a song with him, and he let me play as Martin, and it's like, you know, and I'll tell you another guitar that's good is well, not to bring up a bad memory for our friend Wayne Warner, but that Gibson.
God. Yeah.
That Gibson was beautiful. I mean, when I played that, that's just. I would love to have a Gibson acoustic, but the only problem is I look like little Jimmy Dickens with them because they're such a bigger body, and I'm kind of a short kind of guy. Not as short as little Jimmy Dickens, but still, it's kind of it gives me a complex. So
yeah, they're big, man. They're really big guitars.
Oh, but that's I guess they have to be to get that big sound that they get.
That sucks, though. Yeah, he never got that back, did he? They never found it.
I don't know if they. No, I don't believe so. And
it's the worst.
Yeah, it's one of those things I would love to be traveling someday and come across that guitar and then beat the holy living hell out of the son of a bitch that took it.
I always feel like I'm really lucky that I'm a left-handed guitarist, because if somebody stole my guitar, they'd probably bring it back. Be like, this is bullshit. What?
Yeah. It's I forget you're left-handed.
Yeah.
But hey, that makes you all the more special, because there's not as many. I mean, how many right-handed guitar players are there? We're a dime a dozen, but
yeah,
you got to stick out a little bit more. Plus, Jimi Hendrix was a left-handed player.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say.
A music store guy told me one time that like 10% of the population is left-handed, and like 5% of that 10% are guitarists that are left-handed. Like most left-handed people play the guitar right-handed.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that case, though, learn right-handed.
I don't know if those numbers are right, but it was something like that. You know, I'm sounding like Bernie Sanders now, Out of the 10%, 5% of the... only 1% of the 5% play the guitar left-handed with the string strung. No.
That's pretty good, man, actually.
Anyway, I'm running for office. Let's do...
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
You would be a step up from a lot of them people that are in the office right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. We're all going to crazy town lately.
We certainly are.
6-7 years, it seems like we've just been going down a rabbit hole. I don't know. It's like, but I won't get into that because that's a whole nother show, right?
That's a whole nother show. Yeah. Maybe I'll run. I ain't making any money doing this music thing. I figure I could squeeze some grease out of those lobbyists and get myself.
Yeah, that's right. Or move to California, because I think everybody and their brother is running for governor out there.
Yeah, it's wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna play music.
You're better off, man. Trust me.
Politicians are horrible people a lot of times. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. And musicians are always good people, and I'd rather be a good people.
Totally. I mean, I was doing a public access one time that recording down in southern Vermont, and one of the guests was a representative from Montpelier, and I'm just so blatantly honest, and so we're talking, and he's like, "Oh, you're a musician and stuff." I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah," I was like, the only thing I said, that's the only thing dirtier in the music business sometimes is politics. And I was like, I said, I'll never be a politician because I can't lie. And he didn't like, that kind of set him off a little bit. I just was like, come on, man, wink, nudge, and he wasn't getting the joke.
It's a little too close to home.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe I hit a nerve. Maybe it's true. Yeah. Maybe he's a liar. I don't know.
Probably is.
I'll never run for office because I got way too much shit in my past.
I know.
That they'll bring up, and I mean, they'll sink my ass within 5 minutes.
You'll be canceled, man.
But By the way, can we swear on this? I guess I should have asked that at the beginning
No,
of the
no,
show.
no, yeah. Absolutely. The FCC's got nothing on this show.
All right.
They're not even listening.
Phew.
Oh, hey, well, let's do one more song before we wrap it up, man.
Sure. Actually, I'll play a new one that's going to be on the record, the next record.
Perfect.
I wrote this, of course, during the lockdown, and it's a song called Homegrown Remedy, and that could be whatever you want it to be. So,
Okay. All right.
but here we go.
Perfect.
Woke up this morning, turned on the news. Seems the world's gone crazy. I guess that's nothing new. Step out my back door into the morning sun. Lose my cares and let that fresh mountain air fill up my lungs. I need a homegrown remedy to cure what's wrong inside of me. I'm a long time gone. You better believe I need a homegrown remedy. Around every corner stands an old memory, a constant reminder how things used to be. Most of the time I let it roll off my back. Now and then the feelings come crashing in like a train screaming down the tracks. I need a homegrown remedy to cure what's wrong inside of me. I'm a long time gone. You better believe I need a homegrown remedy. I need a homegrown remedy to cure what's wrong inside of me. I'm a long time gone. You better believe I need a homegrown remedy to cure what's wrong inside of me. I'm a long time gone. You better believe I need a homegrown remedy. I need a homegrown remedy. I need a homegrown remedy.
Yeah, man. That's a great tune.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's yeah, I like that song. I've tried to, well, this time around, really kind of let melody be my guide in the song.
Yeah.
In the past, as a guitar player, I've usually been kind of led by the chord structure of the song and stuff. But this time, I want to base everything around the melody, because I think that's. It took me a lot of years to learn that. That's essentially where it begins and where it ends for the listener, you know.
I'm excited to hear the new album, and the link is right down there.
Right there,
if you would like to if you would like to help out Tim Brick, and I'll post it in the comments as well. And but
Great.
before we hang up, I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit. Does your hat say it's a Tim Brick thing? What does that say?
It says it's a brick thing. You
It's
wouldn't
a brick
understand.
thing. I don't.
Actually-
I don't understand.
It was I think a birthday. It was a birthday present from my mom.
Yeah.
And one day I was wearing this hat, and of course we would walk around with a face mask on, and
Yeah.
this guy kind of looked at me and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "That's a cool hat." He's like, "I know this guy. He's a singer from Barrie, Tim Brick, and stuff." And I was like, I had my hair tied back, and I was like, "Yeah, he's pretty cool." I was like, I said, I'm pretty. I know him pretty well." And he's like, "Really, man?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm him." And I put my face mask down. He's like, "Oh, no kidding." And so we ended up, having a good conversation, and
That's so funny.
and he ended up purchasing a CD that night online or something. So
Nice.
yeah, it was cool. You never know where you're going to run into fans of your music. So
Yeah, that's right. You do a live stream called from the man cave, right?
oh yeah.
I got
Yeah, I've taken the last 3 weeks off from doing it, but we're actually going to be bringing it back on Saturday, May 21st. It's just from my basement. I set up a little area, and it's actually been a godsend during last year because it enables me to be relevant, keep my name out there, can stay connected with my fans.
man.
And you make a lot of new ones too, because it's so easy, because your fans, all they have to do is hit that share button, and it puts it up in front of their friends, and then their friends do the same thing. And it's cool. I've played, people over in Europe have tuned in, and from Texas and Michigan and all over the country. So
Yeah, man.
but in that way, technology's cool. In other ways, it's when the robots decide that they don't need us and kill us all, then that will be the bad end.
I'm hoping I'm hoping we're either gone or super elderly by then.
Well, I'm hoping at least before that happens, they learn how to make the replicator machine on Star Trek.
Right.
That, you just ask for anything you want and it comes out. I hope it's not one of those colored cubes though. I want my steak to come out like steaming steak with,
Right. Yeah, you
potatoes
don't
and
want.
broccoli.
Yeah, it's gonna still look realistic.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm really excited to hear the new album, and when it's done and when it's out, let's get you back on the show.
Oh, I'd love to, definitely.
We'll promote
And
it.
as soon as I get it in my hand, packaged, I'll get one in your hands. That's for sure.
I love it, man. That sounds great. Well, grab that cup of coffee. We're gonna do a virtual cheers.
Cheers, man. Oh, I gotta go the opposite way. We gotta clank the mugs here. Clank.
Bing.
Social.
Social. Oh man, I remember saying that back in the day. All right, Tim Brick, thank you so much. That was a blast. Oh, I need some more. I need some more coffee. Dun 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 dun. What's the temperature right now? Danielle's gonna do a little weather check.
It says 66 degrees.
It's 66 degrees already?
Yep.
All
It's
right.
only gonna get to 68.
It's only going to get to 68.
But yesterday it got to 73 or 74, and I think
Yeah.
my phone said it was only gonna get to 60.
All right. So are we eating breakfast on the porch?
Yeah,
Yeah?
that could be good.
All right. We're going to make breakfast. It's late for breakfast, but we're going to make our breakfast on the porch this morning. Hey, I'm going to sing one more song before we go, but thank you to my guest, Tim Brick. That was a blast, and hope to have you back on when the album comes out. We can celebrate the new album coming out. Thursday, I'm going to be broadcasting live from the underground. It's in Randolph, Vermont. I'm going to be going down doing a show about an hour long, and then I think an interview with these guys. It's a recording studio, so we're going to be doing a live stream from a recording studio. I'm bringing an upright bass player with me and a drummer. A little trio action. It's going to be super cool. So I'd love for you to tune in, and 10% of the proceeds go to the Chandler Center for the Arts in Randolph. So that's very cool. And next Sunday, James Lee Baker is going to be joining us to sing some of his tunes. James Lee Baker, a great singer-songwriter, I believe from the Colorado area. So lots of fun stuff. Shows are maybe starting to happen again. I'll hope to have some news for you guys next week, but talking about booking some stuff. How exciting is that? Whoop! And hey, if you want to help this show remain a viable endeavor for me on Sunday mornings, there's always the little PayPal link. Or it's up in the description or below, depending on which platform you watch on. Every little bit is appreciated. Thank you so much. All right, I have had plenty of coffee. Now I need to make some eggs and French toast.
Yes.
Yes, French toast. Oh oui oui. Baguette. Are you making the French toast with baguettes?
We don't have one. We have regular.
We don't have the baguettes.
We have regular.
I'm going to do a country song. Bobby Bear song. It just feels like country's a thing to do. Well, I sold the farm to take my woman where she longed to be. We left our kin and all our friends back there in Tennessee. And I bought those one-way tickets that she had often begged me for. Took her to the streets of Baltimore. Well, her heart was filled with gladness when she saw those city lights. She said the prettiest place on earth was Baltimore at night. Now man seems proud to give his woman what she's longing for, and I kinda like the streets of Baltimore. Well, I got myself a factory job and I run an old machine. I bought a little cottage in a neighborhood serene. Now every night when I come home with every muscle sore, she dragged me through the streets of Baltimore. That's right. Well, I did my best to bring her back to what she used to be. But then I learned she loved those bright lights more than she loved me. Now I'm going back on that same train that brought me here before. While my baby walks the streets of Baltimore. While my baby walks the streets of Baltimore. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, folks, that's the show. We've had plenty of coffee, but now it's time to have some breakfast. Thank you so much for tuning in every Sunday. My favorite day of the week, Sunday, because I get to spend it with you and coffee. We'll be back next week, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to my guest, Tim Brick. Thank you to Prolix Music for helping us out. And thank you for watching. I hope you had some good coffee, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. We'll see you next week, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, my sign. Be safe. Be well. Cheers, y'all. Have a good one.